For few exceptions, I have spent 73 episodes gushing about how good this series is, and it will go down as one of my favorite anime of all time. It's not going to be my all-time favorite. I don't think it's, it's not on that level of of a number one or two for me. But it's not far off. It's certainly one of my all-time favorite shows. And we have one more episode left, and in a very interesting turn of events, Dr. Tenma is going to take up that mantle of being the best when it comes to that art of being the best of the best when it comes to surgery to save the life of the young man who he once saved that triggered this whole long chain of events. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We are going to jump into the 74th episode of Monster. It's called The Real Monster, and it is the final episode of the Monster anime. I don't want this video to be too long. I'm hoping that we can get this in under 40, 50 at the most. I really hope this doesn't go an hour. I really hope I don't talk that much about this show. I think I've said what I want to say about this show. Obviously I'm going to talk about this last episode and how it ends and how that's relevant to the context of the entire series of Monster. That stuff's obviously going to come up. I'm definitely going to talk about that stuff in this video. But I don't expect to talk about the whole series all that much. I feel like I have adequately expressed why I think this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. One of my favorite series that we've done on the channel. I don't think it's one of the most, reaction kind of inducive series. If that makes sense. Even though I've had some, big reactions in this show, I don't necessarily think this is the type of show that is the most interesting from a reaction standpoint, but I think it's one of the most interesting shows I've done from a commentary standpoint. And I think at times I have struggled to adequately express my opinions on why I think the show is so good. And at other times, I think I did a very good job of expressing why I'm loving what I'm seeing on the screen. And it's been a fun journey, and I get that, it's not the most popular series in the world. It's been one of the less popular shows on the channel, but I've really appreciated all the support that it has gotten. As with any series that I do, you guys always show the love, show the support, and this is the type of show that I love having a show kind of in this mold. And it doesn't mean, I'm not talking about the detective show or anything, but it's a real thinking show. It's a real show that you appreciate the more you pay attention and really kind of analyze what's going on. And I like to have, in my rotation of 5 or so shows, I like to always have, if possible, and that's not always the case, but I like to always have one show that I would label in this category as just a real thinking man's or thinking woman's show. A real show that you really have to absorb and digest in a certain way to fully appreciate. Now, this show is brilliant on the surface. The show is great. And you don't have to be really focused. If you enjoy this genre, this is probably one of the best examples of this genre of the kind of cold case, murder mystery type of thing I've ever seen. But if you really dive deeper, it's even better than that. It is one of the best shows I've ever seen, and it deserves a good send-off. And I think whatever they do with this final episode, I expect it to be pretty satisfying. I think Tenma's going to save him. I really do. I don't know for sure, but I think he will. Because it's just who he is in the end. I'm curious to see the note that Urasawa leaves us on and ends the series on. I'm really excited. I hope you guys are excited as well. Hope you guys have a lovely Halloween. Thanksgiving if you are from the US or you celebrate the holiday, as I'm recording this the night before, but this will be going up on Thanksgiving. And for those of you in the US who do celebrate Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoy the Thanksgiving treat of this final monster video. And if you guys are not, then I hope you enjoy the final monster video. It's another show, and I go through this with a lot of shows that I watch, is that there's so much I have to say, and I think the format in which I do videos doesn't adequately allow me to express my full opinions on the show, at least without making the videos stupidly long. But it's another series that when I eventually read the manga for this series, I definitely would love to discuss at length in the future, and it's something I always talk about. But this year I finally committed to doing Let's Plays. So maybe sometime in the future I'll finally commit to start making more analytical breakdowns of series and just kind of some of my deeper thoughts on some of these shows and why I think they're so good. But anyways, I can't wait to check out the last episode of Monster. I don't have anything else to say. I'm sure I'll have a bit to say afterwards, but admittedly, despite saying I didn't want this video to be super long, I also am nervous to start this episode because it's the last one of a series we've been doing for quite a while and a series that I really love. So, told you I'd finish it this year, and I'm finishing it with over a month to spare. So let's jump into episode 74 of Monster, The Real Monster, in 3, 2, 1, and play.
ゼウスが核を仰せられると、土地に住む人間の種族は種をまき、畑を耕すことを覚えた。
カール、また発音が違うぞ。
And that's interesting to go back to them.
気をつけているのですが。
Super interesting.
だった。
Yep.
初めてここに来た時には、なんて出来の悪い学生が来たもんだと思ったがね。
ええ。
彼はどうした？日本人医師は
世界中を飛び回ってるとか聞いています。
そうか。いつかあの男ともう一度会いたいものだ。
I hope you get the chance. Yeah. It's so interesting because as the OP plays for the final time, it's so interesting because obviously there was a very impactful. It wasn't a coincidence that this final episode started with that quote. It was very precise and potentially symbolic of what this series was all about. But I would reserve judgment a little bit until I actually see how everything goes down in this final episode. I mean, Tenma's one of my favorite characters ever. On the surface level, you would think Johan would be my favorite character, and I've talked about this before, but Tenma's a GOAT. The fact that I kind of look a little bit like Tenma helps too. I'm not gonna lie. I would totally be down to cosplay Tenma, although then again, cosplaying Tenma literally is like not even a thing. It's literally like, it would literally just be wearing like normal clothes, so, you know. But got some girls hanging out. Say young women probably. 20s probably. Title card is, there it is. Final chapter, yep. And we're seeing everything that's going on. I wonder if this is... Ah, nice to see my girl. I mean, my other girl. Nice to, so this is Aftermath, it looks like.
Oh.
笑っちゃうでしょ。今までろくにキッチンなんかに立ったことない私が。
じゃあ今度うちのキッチンをお願いしようかな。
いいわよ。
Nice.
いやしかしあんたの見立てたキッチンじゃ高くつきそう
Yeah, probably.
な。
ちょっとね。
Of course. It's nice to see she's.
酒は飲
Oh
んだ
god, they're not gonna show us Tenma until the
一
end.
滴も。
結構だ。
Oh
ゆっ
god.
くりゆっくり行こう。焦っても同じように今日は過ぎゆき、明日は来る。
幸せっていうのはそんなもんだ。
Oh my god, to see her like kind of softly smiling is so. Yeah, she's thinking about Tenma. Oh god, I'm so.
彼は私が駅で待っているだけで幸せだって言ってた。
I was about to say, are we talking about Martin? He literally beat me to it. Trust me, I'm not gonna forget his name after forgetting his name so many times in that set.
悲しみはどんどん薄れていって楽しかった記憶ばかりが残っていく。
It's one of those things about time.
都合よくできてる
Exactly, you remember the good times.
だから生きていけるんだ。
God, that's such a. That line is so real. It really is. Oh god, what the fuck?
紹介します。この人がバーデマン弁護士。あなたにかけられた
Ah, Grimmer. Okay, that makes sense.
Grimmer-san.
Wolfgang Grimmer, there it is.
あなたに関して分かる限りのことは調べ上げた。511キンダーハイム出身。東ドイツの諜報部員としてジャーナリストを装い世界中を旅行。その後フリーランスとして人権問題を調査し続けた。
That's all what Grimmer did.
それらの裏付けとなる資料が山ほど入っていた。
Yes, he did.
だが結局分からずじまいに終わったのはあなたの本当の名前だ。
ボルフガング・グリマー。
名前だけじゃない。彼は何も語らずに言った。
ルンゲ警部。
Mm-hmm.
もう警部じゃないよ、スーク刑事。
Hey.
警察大学校の教授になられたと伺いましたが。
Good! That's something that could maybe fulfill you a little bit.
娘とよく会話するようになった。
Aww, that's
会話
good.
といっても電子メールだ。
Hey, take what you can get, right?
これまで私たち親子は何も語らずに過ごしてきた。お互い何も知らずに生きてきた。
It's a decision you made. Eh.
人間は一生のうちでどれほどのことを伝えることが
Never enough, Long. Never enough.
たくさん話したいことがあったろう。うまいビールを飲みながら。
It's fitting. Very fitting. Especially for some
え
Germans.
え、契約してる会社があっちなの。
Wow.
そうか。大丈夫か。
Back to the beginning.
そこは君にとってはいろいろと。
逃げ出そうとしても無駄だ。大切なのは事実と向き合い前に進むことだ。でしょ？
Yep.
これ適当に処分しておいてくださる？それじゃ。
ああ、
What did he?
元気でな。
What did I ever give?
なんかあったらすぐに言ってくれ。
What?
私もドクター・ギーレンもいつでも力にな
Yeah,
る。
Gian and Reichwein were cool, and yeah,
そして
him.
よろしく伝えといて。
Okay, that's good to see. That's good to see. They're really like cucking us by not showing us. We have no idea what happened, and I love this format.
ドクター・テンマの事情聴取。
Yeah, he's in court. Okay, that makes
事
sense.
件の全貌を未だつかめず。
Mhm.
ルンゲ警部の証言始まる。ヨーロッパ史上最悪の連続殺人事件に発展か。ドクター・テンマ完全な潔白。警察当局はドクター・テンマに謝罪の意を表明。
Nice with the short hair
事
too.
件の動機未だつかめず。真犯人とされる謎の青年の正
He
体は
true.
ニュースター大学医学部
Oh,
ドクター・テ
wow.
ンマを教授として招聘。ドクター・テンマ孤児の意思動かず。ドクター・テンマ国境なき医師だけ
And I'm not sure what the MSF is.
どんどん記事が小さくなる。
As he faded away, because he didn't want to be like he just wants to do what he wants to do.
人間って都合よくできてる。
Yep, you only remember the good times. Teacher!
ちょっと見ないうちに
That's great that we got that guy.
ケッケルおじさんはちょっと見ないうちにますますずる賢そうになったね。
相変わらず口の
Oh, he's the slimiest. Don't worry.
サッカーの練習に行くから付き合ってられないよ。
おいちょっと待てよ
That's interesting. I find it interesting that they call it soccer, not football, in Japan. So I guess they picked up soccer from American English.
帰って
This is really interesting. I'm actually curious
に
about
後か
that.
ら引き受けた仕事経費と労力考えると報酬が全然足りないんだよ
天馬がおじさんに仕事？
簡単に人探しとか言いやがってえれえ苦労したんだ警察のマル秘資料を盗むまでしたんだぜ
Wow.
捕まったらどうなるか、おい天馬にこの請求書を渡しとけ払えないならまた潜りの医者に
Wow,
から
nice.
覚悟しとけってな
I mean, to be fair, I'm sure Ted was more than willing to help anyone. Southern France, huh? Holy shit, he's in France. That's...
お待ちかねですよ。このところいらっしゃらなかったから。
いや、ちょっと外国の方へ。これ皆さんで召し上がってください。
まあ、これは。
Isn't this the place from, God, what episodes were those? You guys know what I'm talking about. No, it wasn't France. Was it? I know it was by the ocean. No, this is definitely not it. It's weird to see Tenma with the shorter hair. He looks all cleaned up. It's very like beginning of the series Tenma, pre-fuckery. Is that Anna? I thought that was an older lady, but that might not.
いい天気。
No, no.
たくさんの葉が光合成してる。
Who is this?
命。数えきれない遺伝子。ご
Uh.
存知？
ええ、遺伝の法則。
私、メンデルと同じ大学に通っていました。
ブルノ大学、チェコ南東部モラビア地方の都市ですね。今度ぜひ行ってみます。
ありがとう。何度も通ってくださって。
What the
とても
fuck?
楽しい時間を過ごさせてくれて。
いえ、
今日はとてもいい気分。何でもお話できそうな
They're not showing her face either.
どんな怖い話でも。
Oh, Jesus. Oh, good God. I can't. This is some. Yeah.
私に聞きたいことがあるんでしょう。
Yeah.
あなたは双子のお母さんですね。
Yep.
ええ。
Hmm. Yeah, I put it together. I was like, it looked like an old lady, and then I saw blonde, and then I was like, wait a
彼
minute.
はあの男に殺された。それはあの男の実験だった。
Peter Chopik and Franz Bonabat. Well,
私はあの
Franz
男を
is really
決し
Franz,
て許さない。
but Chopik kind of came with, you know. I'm not getting the whole timeline of this
私が死んでも
nonsense.
私の中でどんどん大きくなっていく子供たちが必ずあの男に罰を下す。
I guess in a sense that sort of happened.
手を離さないで。 手を。
Yeah, that's some shit, alright. Fuck.
本当の怪物は誰？
The real monster. The monster, the one who created the
あの子
monster?
たちは生きているのね。
I think so.
ええ、元気です。
Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? What is this anime shit? All that was missing was a fucking piece of bread in her mouth, and that would have been the funniest thing of all time.
思い出したの。
何をですか？
二度と思い出せないかもしれない。
Yeah, that was the idea. That was the idea that I was getting based on how Tenma
あ
was
の子た
acting.
ちに名前をつけた。
Holy fucking shit.
あの子たちの名前はね。
I swear to fuck. What the fuck? You bastard, you bastard. Are you not gonna... Jesus Christ, girl.
入りたまえ。
That guy's voice, what the fuck?
相変わらずの遅刻常習犯だな。約束の時間に10分遅れだ。
すみません、クローネッカー教授。
まあいいだろう。今日は何のために呼び出されたのか分かってるだろうね。君の卒業論文に関してだ。前に来たまえ。
はい。
It's brilliant, it's disturbing, it's both. What are we going for here? It's uplifting.
君にいろいろあったのは知っている。休学中の遅れを取り戻すのも大変な苦労だったろう。
Yeah, that's an
で
understatement.
もそれは成績の言い訳にはなりませんし。
その通りだ。ところで君の論文だが
It's brilliant.
トップだ。
Yep.
これは私が教えたこれまでの学生の中で最も優れた
I
論文
mean,
だ。
she's brilliant. What would you expect?
よく頑張ったな。私は君を誇りに思う。
ありがとうございます。
Yep.
君の志望は
はい、弁護士です。
君によって多くの人が救われることを祈る。
Damn, what a...
たがってよろ
I
し
mean,
い。
he's just scary as fuck looking, but what a baller professor.
ただし
I don't think that's the same professor from earlier.
法廷では遅刻は許されない。フロイライン・ニーナ・フォルトナー。
Fraulein Nina Fortner.
はい。
What is this end of Code Geass music? Oh my god! This is the most unfitting music I've heard. Oh, this is the most unfitting music I've heard in Monster. This is so weird!
新たな模試。今度会った時慰めてもらおうかな。
Yeah, nobody's better than Dieter.
やったんだね。おめでとう。
Yeah.
ありがとう。これからがまだまだ大変なんだけどね。
Oh, that's so satisfying to see Anna. Now there's only one person we still need to see. Oh my god.
結構。
Oh, for a second I was like the shadow, but...
さっき電話があったんだ。でもまたすぐ国境なき医師団で外国に行っちゃうんだってさ。
So the MSF is some international, like, doctor thing? Maybe? I have no idea what the MSF is. I'll look that up after we finish the episode. We should be close? Yeah, okay. So we still have time for Johan, I guess. Yes, you are, girl. If I was you, Anna, and I think I could see myself being you, I probably would feel the same way about seeing Tenma.
こんにちは。
Oh my god. Iron State Run Police Hospital. This has gotta be the boy. Okay, so they're in Munich, I assume. Oh my god. The boy. It's gotta be. There he is.
あれからずっと眠り続けているね。
Been in a coma.
聞こえるかい？君のお母さんと話をした。君を愛していた。君の本当の名前を聞いた。
Oh my god.
君には名前があった。
This is such a cock tease. I love the symbolism too, like Nina Fortner is her real name. Like that was the thing when they said Fraulein Nina Fortner. Like that was the point. Is he gonna be sitting up? What the fuck? Holy shit.
ドクター・テンマ、あなただけに聞いてほしいことがある。あの時、あの怪物が僕の前に現れた。
Yeah. Yep, the twins.
これは実験だ。
Yeah. Franz.
どちらかを残してどちらかを連れていく。これは実験だ。さあ、どちらを連れていく？
What the fuck?
離さないで。離さないで。離さないで。離さないで。母さん、手を離さないで。
What the fuck? What the fuck?
こっち。いえ。こっち。What
the hell?
やだ。
What the
母さん
fuck?
は僕を助けようとしたの。僕と妹を間違えたの。
It doesn't matter.
どっち？いらなかったのはどっち？
Holy shit! Yeah, that's some trauma for both of them. What the fuck? That was a nightmare. That I don't think happened, but God only knows. Oh God, Urasawa has to mindfuck us before we leave. That was Jesus
そろそろ
Christ.
行くよ。
Yeah, I guess that's what happens when you come in close proximity of frickin' Johann. You fucking lose your shit. I mean, it makes sense. It's Johann, but good God. So interesting to even think about, though. It's interesting because this has been an Aftermath episode. I don't even know what to say about it, and they're just going to end here. I think, yeah, it's just going to... Is he going to open his eyes and we're going to end it there, or are we even going to bother? I was thinking, like, was he awake that whole time? That would have been interesting, but... Yeah, he was... Oh my god. He fucking jumped out the window. And that's just it. And the monster vanishes into the wind, right? The monster without a name. Wow. It's interesting. This is such an interesting note to leave the story on. Like, there's a kind of feeling in my chest, and I don't know how exactly to describe it. It's not a pressure necessarily, but it's like... As opposed to a deep sigh of relief that I could say that we made it through Monster, it's more like just an uneasy feeling. But this was a very happy ending. Make it home to your land of harmony. Make it home to your land of purity. And I think the ED says it as good as anyone can. That was exactly what the series needed to be. That was the perfect ending for what this show is. And I think it really told a story that was appropriate for Monster. And I think, you know, we were left with the question of who, you know, this episode was called The Real Monster. And there was that question of who really was the monster in the end. And that kind of final vision that Tenma had, you know, again, talks about the true origins of a monster and how one makes a monster. And it can be something as simple as that can change a kid's life forever. And that's why that was such a terrifying nightmare for Tenma and the viewer. So it's really interesting to think about. There's just so many ways you can take that. And that's what I love about Monster. I feel like there's so many interpretations for the narrative, and I think the last episode was very much done in a very Urasawa style of mannerisms, where they did it in a way where there were so many kind of ways that you could take that story, that narrative, and I thought it was very well done, and it was something that I appreciated a lot, and I think it was one of the better stories I've ever seen on that front. I think it was incredibly well done, and I think it deserves to go down as one of the best anime of all time. I think it's a easy 9. I think it's, you know, it's a very deserving 10 if you want to give it that. I don't know. You know, it's probably a 10. I mean, it's one of the best shows I've ever seen. Is it top 5 anime? Maybe? It might honestly be, because I need to reevaluate, like, my top lists. The only, like, because I know that, like, Evangelion and Steins Gate are, like, I think will never drop from being 2 of my all-time favorites. I definitely think I need to reevaluate a lot of my other favorites. I just need to rewatch them again. You know, Kill la Kill, Gurren Lagann, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, Cowboy Bebop, Code Geass, like a lot of those, you know, obviously Attack on Titan once it ends, like a lot of these I need to kind of just go over again and really kind of think, because you guys, I've said this before, my 2 favorite anime of all time, and I flip-flop kind of on, they're 1A and 1B really are Neon Genesis Evangelion and Steins Gate, but I definitely think all of those other ones I named are up there, you know, I you know, and then there's some other ones that are kind of like in that range too. Like, I'm a huge fan of Mob Psycho 100, super hyped for season 3, and there's some other ones that I would say are in that are pretty close as well. Like I said, Attack on Titan somewhere there, but this is Hunter x Hunter. I didn't even name Hunter x Hunter. There's a lot is the point, and I haven't even seen a lot of anime, but I've seen a lot of the really good ones at this point. I've seen quite a few of the really good ones, but yeah, Monster definitely is going to be on that list. I definitely think Monster was a special experience. It's definitely going to go down as one of the better shows that I've watched on this channel and just in general in my life. So it was a great experience. I hope you guys enjoyed my reactions to this show through and through. And I think this ending really encapsulated what this show was all about, because it was always about a feeling. I feel like this ending gave me a very kind of, like I said, particular feeling, one that I struggled to fully describe, and I'm still feeling it right now as I talk to you guys about it. And I feel like Monster was an emotionally charged show that used a brilliantly tight narrative to tell a very biblical story, almost, of really something that was symbolic in so many ways to so many things, and I feel like was as much a testament to the legends of the past as it was I don't want to say cutting edge, but almost like a breakthrough work of fiction. And it's really incredible how Urasawa was able to weave a narrative so beautifully, and then it was able to be pieced together like this so well. Like I said, the direction of this anime was incredible, and again, the director, Made in Abyss, Monster, I've gotten to see, especially in the later run of Monster, when I've also been watching Made in Abyss simultaneously, I've gotten to see this director really show how freaking good they are with both series, and it's really been a treat. And there's just so many things that I can really tout Monster for being so good at, and I definitely think that this was an experience that all of you should hopefully have enjoyed, and hopefully all of you guys really do enjoy my reaction series to Monster. If you're watching this like when I'm dropping the final reaction, or if you find my reactions later down the line and watch my series, whatever the case may be, I hope you guys enjoyed my series to Monster. I hope you guys check out a lot more of my other videos, whether it's my current stuff or my old stuff. I hope you guys, enjoy my content and stick around for other series, because, I try to bring my own unique flair to watching these shows for the first time. This unique combination, I think, of enthusiasm, a unique kind of like enthusiasm and excitement, but also I think a bit more of the kind of like analytical breakdown, where I think I don't try to, I'm being me, and I am a person, to say the least, as you guys have seen, but I, try not to do too much in any way, but I also am just be me, and sometimes I like to be a bit much, but this has been a fun experience, and I think I'll never forget, Tenma, Johan, Anna, or Nina. You guys know I would normally call her Anna, but Tenma, Johan, Nina, Dieter, Lung, Grimmer. I mean, all the potatoes, really. I mean, there were a lot on the journey. I didn't even mention Eva. Who I guess was not quite as big of a character as I thought she would be. I honestly thought she would have a little bit bigger of a role. She didn't end up really mattering at all in the ending, which was kind of a little weird. And I thought that was like one of the things that I thought was kind of strange, was she really didn't have anything to do with the ending part. But nonetheless, I do like that Tenma was able to kind of take that mantle up, and that was always his thing. And then in the end, he just did his thing as Tenma and played the role of the good doctor and saved Johan, and it was all very poetic, and like I said, I used the term biblical, and I don't know if that's entirely fitting. I think some of the stuff in this series is very biblical, but I think the overall narrative as a whole was very I guess it was tangentially kind of, sort of, was biblical, but I think it more represented a deep-rooted commentary on the idea of a monster. And there's a reason why the series is called Monster. Obviously, going back to the very beginning, if we go all the way back to Adolf Junkers, and how he referred to Johann as the monster, and how that narrative extended through over 70 episodes into this final point where we see the proclaimed monster vanish before our eyes into the wind, into the unknown, and that's the final shot of this series. It really symbolizes that idea that a monster is something beyond just mere skin, bones, and flesh and blood. It's something almost ephemeral, and it's something that is not born, but something that is made. And there's so much kind of deep-rooted ideals behind the idea, the identity of a monster, and that's why the last episode was called The Real Monster, and takes into question who exactly or what exactly was truly the monster in this story. And in many ways, one could argue that the monster of this story wasn't anything. It wasn't anyone. It was something more, again, ephemeral than that. Something more beyond the idea of this kind of basic understanding of humanity. It was something deeper than that. And I think it's interesting to think about, because when you really, break it down, it really comes all into your interpretation of the monster of this story. And is the monster something as simple as Johann Liebert, or whatever you want to call him? Or is it something much, much more? Or I guess in a sense, much, much less, if kind of go along with my narrative there. But this is one of the best shows I've ever seen. It's up there, and we've reached the end, and I'm simultaneously happy and sad, because we finished another show. We finished a pretty long show. My Hero Academia's 5th season will be taking this mantle up, which I know is not the most popular thing in the world, but we're going to do that, and then we'll have a new anime series after that in this slot, which should be fun. Series I'm excited to get to. But it's time to close the final chapter of this story and bring this to a close. So for everyone who's enjoyed this series, I'd like to thank you so much for watching my monster videos and whatever other videos of mine you might watch. I hope you guys are excited for the other stuff that will be coming. There's going to be a lot of fun stuff coming on the channel. I'm excited for a lot of different series that will be coming, but for the time being, I just want to say, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, those of you who have not decided, thank you so much for clicking on all of these videos, for checking them out, because now it is time for me to bid you adieu. The Flamin' Shark and Monster signing out. I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastical day, and I'll see you next time with another video. Thanks for watching. Peace.